So tell us, when you started Deechika, how did you have that faith in you कि एक बार लॉस किया है सेम स्पेस में, हम इस बार तो कर लेंगे?
For us, Deechika is a very authentic, no-filtered, honest brand. If it is, we will stick to the truth. ऐसे मुझे लगता है entrepreneurs में ना एक screw ढीला होता है.
हाँ, ये बात तो सच है.
We wanted the bras that we were introduced to were really bad ones. You hated wearing a bra. It was just very restrictive, and nothing has changed. In every industry there has been development. What about here? Why has nothing changed here? Innerwear was made with a male gaze, and even now most of the innerwear brands are run by men. The innerwear is made by men. So when we went also to get innerwear made, people would say, "Madam, आपको नहीं पता. Our bodies we don't know." Have you ever heard a man complaining about my ganjis are uncomfortable?
So many businesses, like going back to the same question, get funding from Shark Tank, but not everybody survive, grow with that name and fame and money that they get. So how do you live up to that expectation and yet continue to grow? Because not everybody grows. Not everybody grows with that fame and such money that they get.
See, growth pressure high hota hai. Growth pressures come from two places. One, sometimes when you have an investor, when you get an investment into the business, then obviously you've taken somebody's money. You are answerable to them at the end of the day. Sometimes authenticity is about feedback. Sometimes authenticity is sticking to your honesty.
Fear of failure. Care to take risk. But here is the truth. There is nothing called as fear of failure. It's not real. It is the story you tell yourself. Every successful CEO failed multiple times before winning. And here is how you can flip it too. Instead of, what if I fail? Ask, what if I learn? Second, the 10-second rule. Imagine the worst case scenario. Now, reframe it as an opportunity. Action over perfection. Your biggest failure is not trying. Yes, you heard me right. So go ahead and take the first action. Comment, I'm ready to release the fear of failure.
Welcome to Next Page with Sneha Karwar, the space where clarity meets courage and real conversation sparks real growth. Today, we are flipping the page with someone who turned failure into fashion and built a Gen Z brand that's rewriting the rules. So let's welcome Vani Chugh, the co-founder of Deechika Essentials.
Hi, pleasure to be here.
So Vani, tell us, Deechika is a Gen Z favorite today. But take us back to the moment when you felt that this is the thing that you need to do or you want to start with.
So we were running a brand earlier, kids wear business earlier. Me and my sister-in-law, we were running that together. And while it was doing well, we also realized कि उसमें हम कोई problem नहीं solve कर रहे. We were selling something, we were importing stuff from China, selling it here. Good designs, decent pricing, but us over somebody else, the only difference would be, okay, design slightly better, price tag thoda kam hai. And while doing that, we figured that we want to do something that actually solves a problem in the market. And while we were in that kids space, we realized that as the kids grow older, 9, 10, 11, the options for them start dwindling. The kids section, well, they become people of nowhere. Kids section doesn't do anything for them. For the women's section, they're too young. So, some smaller sizes. And then when I remember I was actually walking around at West Side at that point in time. Kuch mil hi nahi raha hai. I was shopping for my niece. Kuch mil hi nahi raha. Then we walked into the innerwear section. Very limited options. And this is back in 2019. So that's when I called Richa, and it got us thinking that this is exactly what we went through as well as teenagers, right? Because when we wanted the bras that we were introduced to were really bad ones. They were not comfortable. And,
Absolutely.
you hated wearing a bra. It was just very restrictive.
Absolutely.
And then we thought, it's been so many years and nothing has changed. In every, industry, there has been development. What about here? Why has nothing changed here? So that convinced us that we need to do something. This is a definite problem statement. And in the overall women's innerwear, so then we started digging deeper because, it's an intimate part. You wear it, it's intimate wear. But when you dig deeper, then you also realize that for the longest time in the women's innerwear only, there has been no innovation. Do you know when the first sports bra was launched? 1970s.
Oh.
Because innerwear was made with a male gaze. And even now, most of the innerwear brands are run by men. The innerwear is made by men. So when we went also to get innerwear made, people would say, "Madam, आपको नहीं पता. Our bodies, we don't know."
But you're so right about it, Vani. This takes me back to my day when I started to wear bra. And I remember that experience, very well remember that experience. When you're mentioning this, that it was a suffocating
It
experience.
was traumatic. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
Even now, for a lot of women, a bra is not a very comfortable garment.
Yeah.
Why? Because we've gotten so used to the fact that a bra means it has to be uncomfortable. Wire ho, jaisa marzi ho. We did not associate it with comfort. Why?
comfort.
Because it was made with a male gaze. It was made, which is why teenagers were also
Probably a
ignored.
part of your body. It should
Yeah.
be like that.
It should be. And it should be made by people who understand your body. At least focus on your comfort. Have you ever heard a man complaining about my ganjis are uncomfortable?
Yeah.
No, right?
Yeah.
They were made for their comfort.
Absolutely.
Why did we not do that for women for the longest time? And that got us thinking this entire space needs more people focusing on comfort, and teens would be a great place to enter from. So that's where it started.
But did you face difficulty because, as you mentioned, that you were already into a business, right? And you made a loss of 70 lakh
Yeah.
rupees. And while this is an interesting conversation which I heard on Shark Tank while researching about you. But tell me, वो moment क्या था जब आपने 70 lakh rupees lose किया? Next day, how did that
So
day
see, when
was
you
for
lose
you?
money in business, it happens over a period of time,
Hmm.
right? So हमने कुछ time lose किया, then we made the money back also.
Hmm.
So that business we ran from 2014 to 2019. Typically, उतने 5 साल में 70 lose करना, and then you also make that money back. So when we exited that business, we hadn't lost, we hadn't gained a lot of money, but we were almost at a break even. But we also knew कि हम इसको और grow नहीं कर पाएंगे. Because हम यहाँ पे कुछ solve नहीं कर रहे हैं. तो अगर हमें grow करना है, then we have to take that risk and we have to stick our neck out and do something. Because अगर हम इसको run करते रहते, if we kept running that business, we had lost some money, then we started making it back. We would have maybe made a little money as well. But beyond a point, हम उसमें और कुछ करते नहीं.
Hmm.
Right? So when you do this, then you realize that to run a business, एक दिन, you know, it's like a circle. एक दिन loss, एक दिन profit आएगा. It's about resilience.
Hmm.
आप कितना उसमें stand कर सकते हो and how much you know when you make a loss. Why did you lose the money? Where did you lose the money? Can you make it up? अगर हमें वही नहीं समझ में आया कि हमने loss क्यों किया, तब तो हम उसको और पैसे को घुसाते जाएंगे. बट अगर हमें समझ में आ गया कि प्रॉब्लम कहाँ थी, उसका फिक्स क्या है, तो एटलीस्ट आप सही रास्ते पे जाके उसको फिक्स कर सकते हो. विच वी डिड इन दैट बिजनेस एज वेल. बट इट्स अ साइक्लिक पैटर्न, राइट? अगर आप बिजनेस शुरू कर रहे हो शुरू के सालों में, दैट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. दैट्स समथिंग दैट यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट.
Okay, so this is again a very important part आपने जो mention किया है कि शुरू में ये जरूरी नहीं है आप अपना you will make money out of it. You did a break even, yet you said that you lost 70 lakh rupees.
या ओवरऑल हमने लूज किया था उस
हाँ.
टाइम पर. यस.
5 साल बाद that feeling, that passion, that I still want to continue with doing a business in the same space but with a new innovation, new idea. So 2 questions to you. One, that mind space कहाँ से आता है कि मुझे यार, because there are so many times जब हम lose करते हैं हमें लगता है am I a failure or the business was a failure, right?
That question will come constantly. वो तो अभी भी आता है कई बारी. It's not that, because end of the day, entrepreneurship is a roller coaster journey. आप किसी की भी story उठा के पढ़ोगे, any entrepreneur, everybody's been through a real, shitstorm, a lowdown. Everybody goes through it. So what you have to, one thing that I have learned, and this was even in our current business, Deepika Essentials, we've seen cycles. We've seen cycles of great growth. We've seen cycles of, oh God, this just did not go well. We've lost so much money on this. The only thing that keeps you going is being consistent. कि वो होता है ना, ये भी चला जाएगा, ये टाइम आया, ये भी जाएगा. You'll figure out a way. That's the mean. You just keep swimming. Eventually, you will reach somewhere. So you keep trying and you keep figuring out your mistakes.
So there's no end of life.
You figure out ना, गलती करी, सीख जाओगे, आगे बढ़ोगे. Because if I keep standing here and thinking, oh shit, I've done this, oh shit, I've done this, then where do I go from there? Then I'll keep sitting here and keep saying this, oh shit, that money is not going to grow out of nowhere, no?
You know what is very beautiful about you? When I was even listening Shark Tank, आपने constantly अपने losses बताए, but you always mentioned that you learned.
Yeah.
You never, in your words, there was nothing, and you're very transparent. आप बिल्कुल से ट्रांसपेरेंट थे आपके लॉसेस के बारे में, आप बिल्कुल से ट्रांसपेरेंट थे आपके वल्नरेबिलिटी मूवमेंट्स के बारे में, एंड द वे यू लर्न एंड इवॉल्व थ्रू दैट प्रोसेस. So I think this is what not only entrepreneurs, founders, but even leaders in corporate needs to understand, that as you move up the ladder, there will be a lot of challenges. Either you choose to think you're not good enough, or you choose to, ye din gaya to, agla din aayega, and you learn through it and, just get better the next day.
So, what you said about this, a lot of people came and told us, when people go to Shark Tank, they make these tall claims and they say everything is great, whether it is or whether it is not. We had gone with a very clear thing. These days, when you're promoting brands, right, the people behind the brand are also a part of it.
Yeah.
So for us, Deechika is a very authentic, no-filtered, honest brand. If it is, we will stick to the truth. There will be problems. We'll have problems in customer care. There will be some problems. Our products sometimes do come back. People will say, nahi, ye acha nahi tha. We will go and fix it. But we will not lie and say, no, we are perfect. Everything is great, because it is not. And that authenticity translates to the brand. That authenticity translates to how we also speak. So whatever it is, that is true. There are going to be problems. The products might have, but we are very happy to take feedback, move on from there, and make it a better product, because it's a constant learning for everybody.
I think this is very common in every successful business, that they do not just say कि हम एकदम perfect है. They constantly evolve through feedbacks and improvise on their product.
Yeah.
Even for that matter, I remember at one of the conference I heard Aman Gupta, talking about, how they have improved over the period of time in their product and services. How Go Zero speaks about his brand and categories, how they are evolving with time, with feedback, with knowing, with learnings. I think this is what makes a business successful, that learning through the feedback, and also as a leader, you get better. As a founder, you get better.
Right. And this one thing, so sticking to your authenticity, for example, with feedback, we had a lot of customer feedback where customers tell us, we do innerwear, right? Innerwear mein hygiene is very important. And there are innerwear brands which will take the product back, take returns, even for panties, lowerwear, right?
Yeah.
And no question. We are very strict about that. We get a lot of feedback, and honestly, we get a lot of hate also on social media. But we are very strict that no, I will not take a return. Please order your size correctly. Please look at everything. Before your order is dispatched, come back to us and tell us that, I made this mistake. Can you do it? Once you've dispatched it, you've received it. A lower innerwear garment, a period panty, we will not take it in return, because then as a customer, how do you have the confidence that what I'm sending to you is a fresh, unworn, hygienic product? So, which is what comes with authenticity. Sometimes authenticity is about feedback. Sometimes authenticity is sticking to your honesty. And that can backfire, that can translate into a lot of hate, but you stand by it. So that's something that we do as a brand. That's something that we do as founders as well, wherever we go. This is what we stick to.
So tell us, when you started Deechika, how did you have that faith in you कि एक बार loss किया है same space में, हम इस बार तो कर लेंगे?
क्योंकि हमें पता था loss कहाँ था, right? And we had started fixing that loss in that business only. But the reason for launching Deechika was because we wanted to do something that would make an impact. वो बिजनेस अगर मैं किड्स पे, हम हेयर एक्सेसरीज बेचते थे, हम लेगिंग्स बेचते थे, हम फुटवेयर बेचते थे. अगर आज आप अपनी बेटी के लिए लेने जाते हो हेयर एक्सेसरीज, लेगिंग्स, why would you want a brand?
Yeah.
Right? डिजाइन अच्छा है, कितनी देर के लिए पहननी है,
हाँ.
राइट? और हम उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम तो सॉल्व कर नहीं रहे थे. तो हम ऐसा कुछ नहीं कर रहे थे कि कल को मेरा एक ब्रांड बनेगा या मैं उसमें कुछ, आई मीन आई एम लीविंग अ लेगेसी, आई एम डूइंग एनीथिंग. तो वो वी वर वेरी क्लियर कि हम ये तो कर नहीं रहे हैं. हाँ, हम इसमें पैसे बना लेंगे, बट बियॉन्ड दैट हम कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो व्हिच इज दैट कन्विक्शन केम फ्रॉम, बिकॉज वी न्यू दैट ओके, दिस प्रॉब्लम वी आइडेंटिफाइड, दिस इज समथिंग दैट वी फील स्ट्रांगली फॉर. And we know why we did not make a certain, we know what our mistakes were, we know how to fix those mistakes. अब इसमें और गलतियां होंगी, we learn along the way. But the faith that we have in us is that we are honest, what we are doing, we're doing it passionately. And at the end of the day, we know how to make money, even if we go through certain cycles of not making it, we know how to make it work. So that's the faith that...
So problem statement you've been mentioning again and again, and I've also heard this. And as a marketer, it's always important to solve a problem statement.
Right.
But a lot of businesses fail even in identifying the problem statement, and they only look at making money. So how would you help somebody understand how to figure out a gap in the market in your space?
So see, problem statement, a lot of times we feel certain things are a problem, but because we all are limited by our own experiences. So it might be that in the limited sample set that I'm exposed to, this comes across as a problem, but it is not a problem for the larger audience. Right? So the only way to do that then is to expose yourself to sample sets that you're not usually exposed to. For example, you or me, right? We'll have friends, we will have, people that we work with a certain set, right? People that you interact with regularly.
Right.
But what if I tell you, okay, let's go beyond that comfort zone? Are you speaking to your helps? Are you trying to understand what that market needs? Are you speaking to people who are not in the same space? So let's say I go to a box, I work out regularly, I meet those people, or they come from a different space that I usually interact with daily. So you try to expose yourself to more and more people from different spheres, people that are not a part of your comfort zone or people whom you don't meet regularly. That's the only way. And then you understand if that problem, what you're looking for, is that a common thread? Is that a problem all across? Whatever your target market is going to be. For us, we knew what a target market was going to be. Initially, we knew it was going to be teens. So we did not limit ourselves to just my daughter, my daughter's friends, right? Because that would again be a limited sample set. We went beyond. The guy who used to work for us, he went to his village and he took some sports bras for his sisters. We told him, please take them. And he came back saying that my mom said, please get more. ये तो बहुत अच्छी चीज है. तो हमने. So this was beyond a sphere. Her was somebody that I would not interact with normally.
Right.
But you make that effort.
So you
Understand
went
the
to
larger
doing
market.
a research from tier 3, tier 2 and tier
Yeah,
1.
you go to a larger market and you don't have to always hire, heavy marketing agencies for that. It's just about opening your mind and trying to expose yourself to more and more and more people from different spheres of life to understand if that problem is actually real from people across.
So before launching, what was your sample size, if I would have to understand?
So we did, before launching, of course, this was the first idea that we did. Then we went across multiple markets, Richa and I. We went to mom and pop stores. We tried to ask for bras for teenagers. We went to larger stores. We did the same thing. We went online. First, we wanted to see supply hai ki nahi hai. Then we tried to hear people. So we got answers like when we said ki teenagers ka dikhao. We said, but ye to normal hai, isme different. कहते यही तो आता है, लेडीज का ये आता छोटा साइज. We said, but क्यों? He said, क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? छोटा साइज ही तो है. So then we tried to understand the mindset, and most of these people who were selling were men. So they did not understand. So we went across, we tried to understand कि problem कहाँ पे आ रही है, problem सच में है भी कि नहीं है, कितना product market में available है. Then we did a lot of research online to see how many searches were coming for these products, which is how even period panties came along. We saw that searches आ रहे थे पर उस time products नहीं थे because period panties had been launched in the US. And then when we decided to make the first sample set, we actually gave it to a lot of girls, as I said. So went to one of the guys who used to work for us, his sister, went to my, niece, her friends, so that we could take their feedback. And we spoke to the moms, we took their feedback, what did they think about it? And that's when we launched the first one. After that, we were very careful about customer reviews. So if you look at our products right now, they'll have a mixed bag. Most of the reviews are 4+, even on Amazon.
That's good.
But we watch them like a hawk to understand what is it that the customer is not liking about the product. Even now we do that. So we will have customers who will come and say that, period panty leaked. So then we try to understand why. Now the thing is, if you're wearing a sanitary napkin or a cup, that can also leak. Why?
Yeah.
If the fit is not right, if it is loose, right? It has to be snug.
Yeah.
So then we figured that the customer needs a lot of awareness. Just because you're launching a product, they will not understand how to use it. So we worked on that. So those are the things that you have to continue doing to keep evolving. We also, before launching our period panties, for example, Richa and I wore it for 6 months.
Okay.
We wanted to see how the experience is ourselves. I wouldn't tell my customers, or I wouldn't tell my daughter to wear something. I'm so sorry. I wouldn't tell my daughter to wear something or my customers to wear something that I am not comfortable wearing. That is where authenticity comes from. I wouldn't give my daughter something or tell somebody else to give their daughter something that I have not tried, I'm not comfortable. As a mother, you wouldn't do that.
Right.
And as a woman, I wouldn't recommend the product. So we've gone through those products ourselves. We warned them. We've understood what the problems are. We tried to fix them before we launched them. And that's typically what we do. Even our bras or whatever new product we launch, Richa will send some samples to me. I will wear them every day. She will wear them. Then we will discuss what is the problem.
Interesting. I mean, that is good. A founder or a brand who is launching, first experiencing it itself then...
Yes, because we figured that if you're switching the fabric in the bra, is there a problem in the comfort? Can I wear our bras to the gym if I'm doing a heavy workout? Am I able to wear it? Is it giving me enough support? Because unless we experience it ourselves, we will not be able to understand when the customer comes to me with a problem.
Just going back to the time when you were starting with Deechika, tell us that. So we're trying to understand the mindset or the psyche behind, from making a loss to entering again the same space. So what made you stay in the game instead of walking away from the entrepreneurship journey?
ऐसे मुझे लगता है entrepreneurs में ना एक screw ढीला होता है.
हाँ, ये बात तो सच है.
वो शायद ढीला screw है, इसलिए you just get used to that, the hustle. क्योंकि some days you're like, क्यों ही कर रहे हो ये? Some days are very, very stressful.
So sorry, just because why also I'm asking this question, not because you only made loss, but you have also experienced a corporate journey.
Yeah.
Right? And that's quite a stable journey in comparison to entrepreneurship.
Correct, yeah. Because there are times when you can actually switch off ना, कि मैं अभी काम नहीं कर रही हूँ तो नहीं कर रही हूँ. I can afford to switch off. With entrepreneurship, you're never switched off.
Yes.
And everything at the end of the day is on your head.
Yes.
But it also gives you a lot of freedom. For example, my daughter will come home and I can be at home to see her. Right? And I can take out that time, 15 minutes. I can set up my meetings the way I want to. I will still have that freedom to an extent. मुझे peak hours में travel नहीं करना है. I will set up meeting, little freedom that come with entrepreneurship. And the biggest thing is the rush. Even today when we scroll down and I will see, अरे आज website पे sale अच्छी आई, that rush, that kick of selling is great. It's something that's very heady that you get too used to.
But then of course that all days are not same. They're just not same. I mean, there is a high possibility कि आपके 7 days में सिर्फ 2 ही दिन अच्छे हैं, where you feel very good about this week was good.
Sometimes not even that. Sometimes the only good day is Sunday. When nobody's come to work, when nobody's calling you. That's the only good day.
But yet where does that thought comes ki, no, I still want to do it. I want to get up every day. You're motivating yourself. You're starting yourself and you're just going with that zeal to make it happen. While in corporate, if you're at a high paying job, you might not have that much liberty to take breaks, but whatever you still have
paycheck
the possibility.
Still comes at the end of
Yes, end of the month आपके paychecks आते हैं और अच्छे खासे आते हैं. आज के तारीख में corporate में at a high position, you have 1 CR and plus salary going.
Correct, yeah.
So I mean, that's a very good amount. And then all the perks that you get in terms of being in corporate, if you're with good organization, your flight, your stay, your home, so many things are being paid by the corporates. So choosing that shift and going through losses, going through hustle, going through struggle, being in this, again, reinventing the wheel. And I would not say reinventing completely, yet, coming up with something new in the same space. How do you still do that? Because there are so many entrepreneurs just give up.
So as I said, it's just about, that passion that for the thing that you're doing and your belief in your vision. Ki, yes, I can do it. It just varies on that. So we are passionate about what we are doing and there's a genuine belief. And then what keeps you going is those highs that you get. As I said, someday you will see the sale. Someday it'll just be a customer feedback. Like we've had a mother write to us that, I'm so glad I found these bras from you all. And my daughter she's actually happy. She slept in them. So sometimes just that feedback that gives you, okay, fine, we've done something right. Or, a young girl coming up to you that she's, she really liked your products, because some people will see in Shark Tank, if they recognize you, they really like the product. Just that kind of high is a good thing to keep you going.
Right.
But as I said, it's people choose, right?
So when there are low days, what do you do?
I work out, which I try to do almost every day, at least 4 to 5 days a week. So you can understand 4 to 5 days a week mein low hota hai 3 din. So yeah, I work out, I spend time with my daughter, and then sometimes I just switch off in the evenings. I'll just watch Netflix back to back. I will binge watch a show, and then in the morning you get up and you're fresh again.
But there are days that you have to work, though you're feeling very demotivated, supremely low. Maybe I don't like using the word called depression, but there are moments where you see that you're hitting that. How do you handle those moments for yourself? While you have to continue working, have to handle family as a homemaker, as a mother, take care of your daughter, and of course, as a founder, take care of everybody's livelihoods as well.
So that is what keeps you going, right? Because at the end of the day, even when you don't feel like working, you can give up if it's just yourself. When there are all these people who are looking up to you, where you have to pay those salaries, that option only doesn't come up till it is like, the last straw. So you'll keep fighting. But yeah, those days are tough, as I said. So I mean, everybody has to find their own outlets. For me, CrossFit is a big thing, which helps me, that banging that weight or that outlet helps a lot. But everybody has to find that outlet to kind of deal with the stress.
So tell us about, being a mother, I would rather say motherpreneur, this work-life balance, which हम सालों से सुनते आ रहे हैं. Do you really believe in this idea of work-life balance?
नहीं होता यार कोई दिन you are able to. I mean, the only thing I've learned is to stop feeling guilty. Because I think mom guilt is the biggest problem. You're either guilty when you're working, or when you're not working, when you're with them, then you're guilty. Oh shit, I did not do this work. So that guilt is the first thing. So I'm lax with myself. I don't.
I think I so resonate this. I so resonate this. And while I was working in corporate, I've always been guilty.
Yeah.
अब जब आपको सैलरी पे करनी पड़ती है ना, तो वो
guilt
गिल्ट जाती तो नहीं, बट आपको you have to deprioritize it.
Correct.
Just कि ठीक है, okay, I'll spend 1 hour with her, with my daughter, then again go back to work, again spend some time with her, then again go back to work, because सब कुछ करना है आपको.
Yeah, true. So that is the problem. Guilt is the biggest thing. And I think with women, that's somehow, inbuilt into us.
Yeah.
Koi default settings mein something has been done, some conditioning has been done that you're just living with guilt throughout.
Yes.
So that default setting has to be changed.
Yeah.
We need to really work on that guilt part. To work-life balance to nahi aa sakta. We are expected to be super moms. We are not. And that glorifying that superwoman, super mom thing is stupid. I don't think anyone should be a super mom, superwoman. We are human.
Yeah.
So some days we'll do it, some days we will not. Stop feeling guilty and you do the best that you can every day. Not every day you will be able to sit with your child for her homework. Not every day you'll be able to give 100% to your work. So it is, you do the best that you can, and you make sure, like when my daughter comes home, small things that you do. Usually when a daughter comes home, she comes back by 3. I try to make sure that between 3 to 3:30, I don't have any calls. At least that half an hour when she comes back from school, I can chat with her.
Yeah.
At night, then I will make sure that before she's sleeping, we'll sit and we'll chat for half an hour. Sometimes it does mean that after she's gone to bed, I will get back to work. I will do some work again. But that's how it is. And I remember when she was younger, I've taken meetings in the car waiting outside her classes because she needed to be dropped for a class and the driver wasn't there and nobody could go. Or I have actually just sat down outside her classes and worked on the laptop. So, because there was a certain show that she wanted me to watch and I would have to wait for 1 hour outside the class and then reach. So you do all of that. But I mean, as long as you're not feeling guilty about it, putting yourself through pressure that, oh shit, I'm doing this work outside here, it's okay. In fact, I sometimes, even when I have to take calls, I say that, listen, I'm here at my daughter's school, I'm sitting doing this call in the car. And I think if you don't feel sorry about it,
the other person won't.
Yeah, say it as it is.
Right. I so agree with this. It's how you portray the whole scenario, because it's all in your energy. अगर आपको लग रहा है आप सही कर रहे हो तो ठीक है, सही है. Then सामने वाले को कोई दिक्कत नहीं होती है. Because I remember my daughter was 2 years during COVID. I used to keep her on my lap and do my entire meeting globally.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. And they were completely okay with it, yeah, because that's how life is.
Exactly. I've had situations where somebody has come to meet me. In fact, one of the Drishti, the first time she'd come to meet me, she handles her LinkedIn. And she came to meet me with her daughter. And her daughter was sitting there and she was very young and we were having a meeting. And it's, as a woman, it's absolutely okay, right? Because us din help nahi thi, nahi chhod sakte. Lekin aa gaye, so daughter's sitting and playing and we are talking.
Yeah.
So it is, I think, absolutely normal to do these things.
It's normal, but we need to normalize.
We need to normalize it as women, and we need to normalize doing it also. If I am doing it without fear, and I'm doing it because I think it's okay, then, I mean, you want to meet me, that's something you'll have to accept.
Yeah. Now, very recently when Deepika Padukone has raised this, she needs 8 hours work a day or a 8 hours work week kind of a concept. How much do you believe? Because like you said, there's nothing called as work-life balance, right? And how I look at it, as celebrities, they're also entrepreneurs, okay? Because they're working on project to project. They're not working in corporate that आपका 9 से 5 का time होगा या 9 से 6 का होगा. So while I also agree that we need to have a work-life balance to an extent कि हम अपने family, हमारे बच्चों को वो time दे सके. But this question, when we were raised by her, what is your opinion about it?
So if you can ask for it and you can manage it, at the end of the day, as I said, koi work-life balance, there are no, fixed rules to it. If somebody wants her in their movie and she's saying, I can be in your movie only if I do this, then that's the choice that she's making, right? Either you respect that choice and you work as per her, or you say that I'm sorry, it doesn't work for me. So I think it's a very choice oriented thing. It's very clear that this is what she's asking for.
Yeah.
So if you want to, so that's the same thing I'm saying, that if you have to do this meeting with me, you want to work with me, and maybe this is my priority, my daughter will be sitting with me right
Yeah.
now. I'm happy to do it
Right.
and I'll deliver the work and I will get it done. But if that means my daughter and you have a problem with this, then I'm sorry, then it's your problem. Then we can choose not to work together.
Mm.
So it's just about that. So if she's decided that this is how I want to work, and for that she's okay that some movies will come her way, some will not, then that's her choice, right? Why should you question her on that choice?
Right. Very true. But again, the reason I'm asking this question is you are in a business which has been governed largely, not largely, in fact, completely by male. It's a male dominated industry. When you entered this industry with your co-founder, did you find it difficult, explaining them, making them understand, and also pitching your idea to them?
Absolutely. So as I said, when we go to vendors, we tell them, elastic placement should be like this. We say, madam, आपको नहीं पता ऐसी बनता है.
A woman wearing it.
पहन मैं रही हूँ, मुझे नहीं पता. But yeah, you do see that condensation. Then you also have a certain amount of discomfort, right? Where men will find it, okay, it's a product that you're making for us, right? And when you are selling it, so people that we used to hire also, उनको bra बोलने में शर्म आ रही है. Like, यार बेच रहे हो, बोलने में क्या शर्म आ रही है?
गंजी बोलने में तो नहीं आती. It's also another in a way.
Exactly. क्योंकि हमने बनाए male gaze से ना, you sexualize the product so much, you made it from the male gaze, then that you attached all these taboos and connotations to it. So yeah, there was a problem initially in pitching, in getting the products made how we wanted to get them made. And even so, but honestly, that is something that you will face in almost, unfortunately, the number of working women versus working men, there is a huge disparity, right? Whichever industry you go to, you are going to see जो भी majority में उस industry में काम कर रहा है, उनका कुछ bias होगा. So that is something that you take in your stride and you learn, because we knew what we were doing, we knew our bodies. ऐसा नहीं कि वो नहीं बना रहे हमारे लिए सामान, जैसा हमें चाहिए वैसा ही बना के दे रहे हैं. And it's not like we have so many guys working for us. Everybody is comfortable talking about bras and periods now. Everything has a learning curve, a timeline. You stick to your guts.
But do you think we all need to evolve now? Because we are still, okay, there are so many women entrepreneurs. Let's look at you. We have Sugar Cosmetics, we have Mama Earth, we have Forest Essential, and the big brands in itself now, and being governed by completely women-led business. Yet it's such a male-dominated world. Do you think there is some kind of a shift which is needed for women to make life easier for them to enter entrepreneurship journey and also be at the forefront?
So the first thing we need to do is we need to stop burdening women with this super woman, super mom titles.
बिल्कुल.
We stop doing that because हम इतना तो guilt डाल देते हैं कि तुमने ये नहीं किया, तुमने घर नहीं देखा, या फिर तुमने बच्चे को ignore कर दिया. उसी की वजह से there are so many women who choose not to continue. So you will have women at the top, you have women at the bottom. The middle level is majorly missing in almost every organization when it comes to women. It's very thin. Top pe hai, people who persist, they reach the top.
Yeah.
And then of course at the junior level, you will have lots of women.
Yeah.
So for that shift to happen, junior se top pe jaane ke liye middle to cross karna padta hai na. So there has to be a stronger representation in middle management. But representation can only, it can't come with lip service, with doing these Women's Day events by corporates. Usse nahi aati na. It comes by actually making smaller changes.
Yeah.
Where you're making it okay for women, so one thing that we do in DG guys, as long as you're doing the work, it's okay how you do it. You've done it from home today, you had to take your daughter, and it's for the guys as well. You have to take your son to school, you need to take your daughter to school as a guy or a girl, or you have to, we've had cases when somebody's called my daughter, and a guy, my daughter's a school excursion tomorrow, I need to go. Like, kar chale jao, but काम इस time तक finish कर देना. As long as you're doing that, that is okay. And that, I think, is something that needs to be made available across the board for women also, because women can be very diligent. Women will really deliver. But you need to give them that freedom and that space to manage.
So tell me, when you were entering and you were looking for funds, did you find it difficult as a woman to get those funding?
See, thoda sa controversial question hai, but since I've been honest, let me answer honestly. कुछ extent तक हाँ bias होता है कई बार, and the bias is never open.
Okay.
And if you have but you will sense the bias. At the end of the day, the thing is, women-led businesses still do get funding. So it is the right investor. What is also there is that a lot of people are very focused on women products also, because you do realize that it's a big market.
Big market,
So
absolutely.
bias hota hai, but
Hmm.
it's about finding the right investor
Hmm.
who will believe in you, who believes in your vision. But so we've raised a couple of rounds, right? We raised our first seed round. Shark Tank, maybe had both the women come in
Yeah.
and support us.
Yeah.
The men were not very friendly to us. But yeah, that bias is there on and off. I mean, you do see it. Especially, I remember when Richa was pregnant and we weren't raising funds, but बीच में pitch which होता रहता है, तो वो कभी आपको feel होता है. They will never say it openly. Nobody will say it openly to you on your face.
This pregnancy also highlights my one journey when I worked till the last day, I was supposed to deliver. Yet, and that was my appraisal cycle. I was said that I wouldn't get appraisal because I am delivering a baby. So this is corporate rule. You don't get appraisal if you're pregnant and gonna deliver a baby. But I fought because I was the best performer in the organization. So they gave me they put a term in front of me that only if you join back in 4 months, this is the percentage we will give you a hike on after 4 months. So I think this is difficult always. While you're doing your best, you're the best performer, you will always face this difficulty. And where is this and why is this coming?
See, that's the whole thing, right? Because as women, end of the day, the world, we can only get pregnant. We can only have
And
children.
that should be the best part of it, right?
Yes.
Because women are more responsible, I feel. They're best multitaskers. Then why are we still struggling with
Because from a corporate's point of view, that during that time, I will have to pay you, but I will also have to pay somebody else to do the work when you're not doing. What you have to understand then is the investment in the resource, because I have invested this much in you. When you come back as a woman, and I think women employees are great, right? When they're very diligent, very hardworking. When you come back, then you deliver this. Then you will be able to do this. So I think from a corporate's point of view, what they think is they don't look at it as a long-term investment. That cost becomes a problem. That during this time when you're not working, I will have to train somebody else to do your work, and then you will come back and then you would want to do this. So for larger corporates, maybe still, but for a lot of smaller companies, it's a very tough thing to.
So I'm going to ask you this question. If you are that founder and you see that, your employee is going on a maternity break, would you do the same thing for them?
So we did it, right? One of our employees did go on a maternity break, and we got another girl to fill up for her during that time period. So we did do that. Now, it is something, it's a legal thing. You have to do it, right? For 6 months. The other thing is also that the resource says she's been with you for so long.
Yeah.
When she comes back, she will have a space. But as a smaller company, your challenge then is, and I'll be very honest, you're always, tight on resources. So it's a huge ask for smaller companies to be able to do that. Ideally, in situations like this, if smaller companies get support, it's easier. So it comes from both. For corporates, it's easier. For smaller companies, it is difficult. Us being a women-led business, understanding women, we had that ethos that we have to do it. But it's not for every company. It's going to be tough to manage something like this, to make sure that you pay that employee. Then either you hire somebody else in her space, which means your salary budget is going to go up.
Right.
Or one person takes care of both the things and you end up taking an extra job. So all of that is, for a smaller company, is a challenge, and nobody is going to say that openly, but that is the truth of the matter. Even as women-led businesses, we still did it. And we know it was a challenge for us. But we did it because when she came back, she delivered. We had that loyalty with her. She loved the company. We invested in her because we'd invested in her for such a long time, and we thought that this is something that we should be doing.
True. Very nice. I mean, it makes sense logically what you're putting, and also it also depends upon the culture that you would want to, keep in your organization or be known for. So I think that's
period leaves are also very common. Before this period leave became a thing, we always had girls, women call up, I'm on my period, bad stomachache. Before work from home became a thing. Even then, we had this thing where, "Theek hai, ghar se kaam kar lo."
So tell us, Vani, you and Richa, what I understand, you're also into relationship here. She's your sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law, my brother's wife.
Right. She's your sister-in-law. Usually, two partners always have a lot of differences in their decisions, ideas, creativity. अब जब घर की बात आ जाती है उसमें और एक चैलेंज आ जाते हैं बिकॉज पर्सनल टच भी होता है तो यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल विथ व्हाट वर्ड्स आर यू स्पीकिंग एंड नाउ दिस क्वेश्चन इज जस्ट नॉट माय क्वेश्चन टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट बिफोर मीटिंग यू आई स्पोक टू लॉट ऑफ पीपल and people in your space trying to grow up and they're looking up to you, so they had this question: how are these two women as a partner dealing with each other day in and out and working with each other for more than 9 years now, right, as founders, as partners? So they would want to understand what is the mindset that you carry or you guys carry together while doing this business together.
See, for any relationship to work, trust is the most important thing. I think sometimes with family relationship, what happens is that trust becomes so implicit, that the intention is never bad. Words can be harsh, words can be rude, or words can be ill-timed, but the intention, as long as you trust that the intention is not bad, that is what keeps it going. We've had a business where we made a loss, we've run through multiple cycles of business, and it's during the toughest times is when you really see what the other person is made of, because in the toughest times is when you use the harshest words. So we've been through those cycles, but what keeps it going, as people say ki family hai to wo can be a problem for us, because it's family, it's actually easier because that trust is so strong that our intention to what we can trust each other 100% with money, with work. And there have been times when Richa has 2 sons. Sometimes you have to take on more from the other person because they have certain obligations that they need to look at. And she had 2 sons back to back. But it is because it's family. It's absolutely okay. And the other thing that we have done in our businesses, we have 2 very clear divisions. Creative is her side and finance is my side. And we keep a veto. So, in the product that she wants to launch, unless the problem is where I see the market research is not supporting it, pricing is not right, this is not going to sell at this price, that is where my veto ends. क्या फैब्रिक यूज करना है,
What is veto?
डोंट डू इट.
Okay.
क्या फैब्रिक यूज करना है, क्या डिजाइन बनाना है, कैसे करना है, दैट्स कंप्लीटली हर कॉल. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू इंटरफेयर कि नो पुट दिस फैब्रिक इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट. एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर मीटिंग द कॉस्ट, शी नोज हर जॉब द बेस्ट. Similarly, when it comes to finance, I will have the final call. She will say whatever she wants. So that is a line that we've kept. Those lines we've kept very clearly drawn. And that is what has helped us in keeping things
So
aligned,
probably not
keeping smooth.
interfering in each other's domain, supporting each other and being
Yeah.
more transparent.
And having a clear distinction that
Hmm.
in this domain, if this part is critical and this part is under me, then my decision is final here.
So I'm sure since it's a partnership, there'll always be conflicts.
तो क्रिएटिव कॉन्फ्लिक्ट किसमें नहीं होते इन एनी
तो आप
रिलेशनशिप.
कैसे हैंडल करते हैं वो क्रिएटिव
बात करते हैं, कभी लड़ भी लेते हैं, बट उसके बाद देन वी नो कि अगले दिन फिर साथ में काम करना है तो क्या फायदा. तो अगले दिन सुबह फिर बात करते हैं कि चलो अब आज क्या करना है.
Very true. So now let's talk about Shark Tank. Because there's so many businesses who get funding on Shark Tank, but 2 things, just correct me if I have got a right understanding of it, that 50% of the businesses are closed after the Shark Tank.
50 मे बी अ हायर नंबर. अपना शार्क टैंक इतना पुराना हुआ भी नहीं है. मे बी आप यूएस के नंबर्स शायद बोल रहे हो, यूएस के शार्क टैंक. इंडिया के
हिसाब से
50% तो आई थिंक हायर है.
Higher है?
हाँ,
Okay.
इतने नहीं क्लोज होते, बट यस सी बिजनेसेस कैन, एक लाइफ साइकिल होती है. कई बार आपको समझ में आ जाता है कि दिस इज नॉट वर्किंग. It's not a failure of the business model per se, perhaps timing, perhaps things not going well at that point, and perhaps actually taking a call of reducing your risks. Shutting it down makes more sense, and pivoting or coming back with something stronger would be a better idea. So yeah, that does happen.
Tell us about so many businesses, like going back to the same question, get funding from Shark Tank, but not everybody survive, grow with that name and fame and money that they get. Because once you've come on Shark Tank and people know about your brand, एक तो operationally आपका I'm sure time and cost बढ़ जाता है, because there must be orders flying in and you have to survive. I mean, not survive, but you have to fulfill those orders. And then also live up to the expectation that you have committed something on, a big TV channel, a big show where people have watched you, they have got interested in you. So how do you live up to that expectation and yet continue to grow? Because not everybody grows. Not everybody grows with that fame and such money that they get.
See, growth pressure high hota hai. Growth pressures come from 2 places. One, sometimes when you have an investor, when you get an investment into the business, then obviously you've taken somebody's money. You are answerable to them at the end of the day for growth. It's not a debt, it's an equity investment, but still you need to be answerable for growth. And that pressure can be immense. Sometimes you crumble under that pressure. Sometimes you end up taking really poor decisions under that pressure. And we've done all of that
Hmm.
and come out of all of that. So the thing that we've realized is after Shark Tank, that you know your business, you know your journey, whatever growth pressure, whenever things will go down, there will be nobody supporting. It will just be you.
Hmm.
So if that is what it is going to be, then you take the decisions that you can stand with, or
Hmm.
you take the risks that you know you will be able to deal with.
Hmm.
And that is what we've done. So the thing with Shark Tank is money, जो होता है, money, just throwing money at a problem does not solve.
Hmm.
So that is one of the biggest things. Sometimes with the money, if you're only putting it mad marketing, you're burning money, तो कई बार आप survive नहीं कर पाते.
Hmm.
And also post Shark Tank, there is a growth pressure.
Hmm.
If you've taken investment, then obviously there's a pressure for growth. अगर आपने Shark Tank से नहीं बाहर से भी investment किया, तो भी growth pressure होता है.
Right.
I think that growth pressure is what sometimes crumbles businesses. Because आपको deliver करना है, आप इतने pressure में हो, and you've been given money also.
Yeah.
And now the thing is, you're expected to solve the problems with money. But money will not solve any problem. The right strategy, right GTM, go-to-market strategy, आपकी क्या है, all of that will solve the problem. And sometimes you make mistakes and you make such big mistakes, you उससे आप वापस नहीं आ पाते हो, because either you lose it or you just figure कि अब possible नहीं है. So which is what, leads to the demise of a lot of businesses. So the idea is, what we learned was that money अगर हमने immediately use नहीं किया कोई बात नहीं, but हर problem पे सिर्फ पैसा फेंक के आप उसको solve नहीं कर पाओ.
So you're mentioning about ki it's like a performance pressure which comes in place after getting the
Right.
funding, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, if somebody got the funding and now, of course, you've sold, not anybody. Let's talk about you. You got the funding and now the pressure of, serving the clients and customers has increased. So when you started to sell those products, which was more than, the order size had increased than previously, what was the mindset that you were carrying that particular day?
The thing is, you have to आपकी deliveries delay होते हैं, right? So then at that point, the key thing is communication. Before Shark Tank, you are prepared कि orders बढ़ेंगे,
Okay.
right? So you prepare your inventory accordingly. You do all of that accordingly. And after Shark Tank, एक बार orders बढ़ते हैं, that is the time when it's actually the best time to collect data. Because there's so many people who will come and visit the website, and then you remarket to them. So mindset सिर्फ ये होता है that these customers have to be served. आप communicate कर दो अगर आप delay कर रहे हो, but do that, make sure we have that data so that we can remarket to them later. And so that is something at Shark Tank, but more than, that immediate customer flow that comes in, more than that's the credibility that Shark Tank brings, which is something we can use for a longer period of time.
So if somebody has sold its product for the first time online in an e-commerce business, what is the mindset that person needs to carry?
2-3 things. One, your customer should be happy, and making an Indian customer happy is not easy.
Okay. Why would you say that?
Because Indian customers are very demanding. They're also very, very price sensitive, typically. So you have to make sure. And honestly, we're also very, I'm an Indian customer. We're also very spoiled now, because we have QuickCom, we have fast deliveries. First, we're used to the Amazons of the world. Now we're used to the Zeptos and Blinkits of this world. The deliveries are happening like this.
Yeah. Now you don't have
Very
to plan your grocery.
We're used to that.
Yeah.
Now every D2C brand cannot afford deliveries like this.
Hmm.
But once you've gotten used to it, that's what you're expecting. If I've ordered right now, give me tracking immediately. I want deliveries immediately. So all of those things, you have to, when you're launching, you need to say, how do you give the smoothest possible customer experience?
So what if you have to give a step? If I'm launching a business in on e-commerce and maybe into fashion or anything, what are the key factors that I need to take care of before starting my e-commerce?
So obviously, how you're selling. So it's different steps, right? One part is selling, one part is operational, and then the
Yes.
third part is finance. So
Yes.
you need to create these 3 buckets
Okay.
and make sure you're making the checklists of each bucket. Those are the basics. What you're selling, where are you selling it? Can your customer find it there? Is it easy to buy? So your website should have an easy navigation.
Okay.
Very fancy, very complicated websites. Just think of it that you are the customer. How easy is it for you to shop? Get a few relatives, people who to just experiment, tell you honestly कि कितना easy था shop करना. Somebody's seen the website for the first time. Operations is your backend, which is, what are the timelines in which you will be able to deliver the product to the customer? What is your communication path with the customer? Both have to be set up. There are CRMs, automated ones through WhatsApp marketing. I know when you're selling a business, then you think कि सब कुछ मैं खुद कर लूंगा, manually कर लूंगा, पर वो scalable नहीं है. So छोटे छोटे automations लगाने होंगे आपको operationally backend में, making sure that the order delivery is smooth और आप customer को communicate कर रहे हो कि order कब dispatch हुआ, कब मिला, in the simplest possible terms. Third part is finance, which is actually the most important one. Whatever you're planning to sell online, what is the cost of that? The exact cost right down to the last thread. What are the overhead costs? उसके बाद आप उसको किस प्राइस पे बेच रहे हो, आप उसमें एड कॉस्ट कितनी लगा रहे हो, वो सब करने के बाद हाउ मच मनी आर यू मेकिंग, प्लीज टेक इनटू अकाउंट योर जीएसटी कॉस्ट एज वेल. आपका जीएसटी आउटपुट उस पे कितना, आपको उस पे इनपुट कितना मिला. Work on all of that. The biggest issue, and a lot of people do reach out to me on LinkedIn and say, okay, I've done so many sales on Amazon, कुछ पैसा ही नहीं बन रहा है. Because the biggest mistake that we make is हम उसकी pricing ही नहीं सही करते हैं. I know people who will be selling at a very small multiple. उसमें ना logistics cost का ध्यान रख रहे हैं, because जब आप customer को कुछ बेचते हो, उसमें आपको logistics cost भी bear करनी है. आपको return cost का भी provision रखना है, अगर returnable product है तो. आपका cost, marketing cost, अगर आप अपनी वेबसाइट पे बेच रहे हो तो सीआरएम कॉस्ट वगैरह, अगर आप प्लेटफॉर्म पे बेच रहे हो तो उनके कमीशंस, तो वो सब करने के बाद आपके पास कुछ बच भी रहा है. प्लीज डू दैट कैलकुलेशन.
मैथमेटिक्स इज इम्पोर्टेंट,
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज वी एंड अप लॉन्चिंग थिंकिंग कि चलो मैं इतना प्रॉफिट इतने का खरीद के इतने का बेच दूंगा तो बच जाएगा. बट इज दैट ट्रू?
सो स्टेप क्या होना चाहिए? सेल्स, ऑपरेशन, फाइनेंस, operational part and sales.
Then you go to sales.
So sales will also include the SKUs, right?
Correct, yeah.
So what is a good number of SKU one should have when they are launching?
It depends on your category. For innerwear, very small is very good because innerwear is a basic category. Like a fashion category needs more SKUs. क्योंकि आप खुद सोचो ना, आप अगर कुछ खरीदने जाओगे कहीं पे for fashion and they tell you 5 options. Bra खरीदने जाओगे 5 ऑप्शन होंगे, खरीद के आ जाओगे basically.
Right.
So it's very, very dependent on the category. Fashion businesses typically demand a lot more SKUs. Essentials businesses, skincare, lesser SKUs are also okay. Just basic problem solving should be there.
So how do you identify that? Maybe it's a very basic question, but if I have to get into a skincare business, how do I identify, what should be the number of SKUs that I have?
It depends on what skincare business. So now there are people who are doing Ayurvedic skincare. Right? And then there are people who are doing your overall, just a larger amount of skincare. Uske andar, typically what categories? Some people are doing skincare and only face. Is your product only that? In that case, then one SKU for each problem. The most common problems is enough. Now, if you're doing something for, are you doing skincare and hair care both? So what depend on that?
Divide your skincare, like your under eye cream, your
absolutely. So then you will do facial care, and some people do skincare, and some people do body care. So it's my body. Or if you're doing only skincare, then there are also niches where some people are focusing on, let's say, my skincare range is only in under eye, an anti-aging. So in that case, I'll do under. I will do a open pore problem. I will do an under eye problem. I will do a collagen. And so 5 tickets are good enough, right? And all you need is for skincare 1 hero SKU.
Yeah.
That will pull your sales.
You always need 1 hero product in any business.
Fashion may not so much, because fashion is a fast moving thing, right? And people want different things. But essentials business, 1 hero product is working.
Okay. But when you talk about then, because you said that fashion is fast moving, and Dchika, which is into laundry or inner garments, do you think people are evolving with inner garments also? They also need fast fashion kind of a thing? Because I have seen your designs. They're very nice for young girls, the teens to wear. But do you all also keep evolving with your designs while keeping the comfort intact?
Honestly, the basic demand is for the basics. It's more functional. Even when we launched, so as we spoken about mistakes, we also made certain mistakes. We went out with a lot of prints. Fashion part. But what is the more of a demand unit? More functional. So what they're asking for is a lot more functional products for everything. जितना fast fashion develop हो रहा है, उसके नीचे की functionality innerwear को देनी है.
So function plus fashion is your thing?
Correct. So fashion is a smaller element where we give that, that fun stuff, and then we make sure whatever. So let's say backless. Everybody wants to wear weddings. Everyone wants to wear backless, right? So that is a functionality that innerwear has to support. Not everyone is comfortable with silicone bras. Can be very uncomfortable. Backless bras don't always do the trick, right? Because they don't give support. So we figured, okay, there's a functionality. We came up with a backless bra strap hat, which basically makes convert any bra into a backless bra. It's a simple strap.
I think, and that's so important as a woman.
Because
We-
you just need that strap.
Yeah.
So आप उसको बना लो, you will
Right.
have support of your
Yeah,
strap
yeah.
and your
And you
product.
need that support with
Yes.
age, even you need it more.
Yes, exactly.
So,
So we
yeah.
think for functionality and we create products like that.
Yeah.
So if fashion में कुछ चल रहा है, any trend that is going on in fashion, we need to make sure हमारे पास innerwear होना चाहिए to support that fashion.
Well, beautifully thought that you all, rather than just evolving the product in fashion, you all actually work on creating the innerwear which supports the fashion.
Correct. Yeah.
I think that's really interesting, and I'm personally gonna see if if there are products which my niece could buy for.
Even you would. So we have a lot of millennial women. So our TAM has been increasing organically. So we are like the Forever 21 for innerwear. We are very youthful, very fun, very Gen Z. But anyone who connects with that comfort level, with that authenticity, buys the product. I wear Deetika products myself. So it's about the connects.
And I think we just need, all the women just need the right lingerie, because I remember recently I traveled to Hong Kong, and when you're out of India, you want to wear all your possible best clothes,
Yeah,
from off
true.
shoulders
Yeah.
to backless and all of that. And I was finding it difficult because at times I used to use those silicone bras and it was
They're
not
very
comfortable
uncomfortable.
for your entire
Sweat
day.
become extremely
Yeah.
uncomfortable. So we've created tube bras also, but non-wired tube bras, right?
Oh.
That give you support, but they don't make it uncomfortable
Mm.
with wire. So we've made those with a little, band support at the bottom. So I said, so try to make sure that we can do functional innerwear that's comfortable, that's wearable. And we can also do products that are easy to carry, where you can, also use your regular innerwear. Even
Right.
if it's not ours, you
Right.
can use it, whatever you're comfortable with, and still take your Deetika essentials and make it
Right.
part of it.
Yeah, I think it was a need of an hour of women band developing a women product, because nobody can think it better than a woman can.
वो क्यों मैडम आपको नहीं पता मैडम को पता है
मैडम को ही पता है यार, वो ही पहनते हैं, आपको कैसे नहीं पता? Surprisingly. So take us to your day one of Deechika. What would you do differently if you do not take us. I mean, what would you do differently if you were today thinking of day one of Deechika?
I would actually launch with the knowledge that I have now,
Hmm.
which is what I said. So we made mistakes, right? We thought, okay, let's do fashion products. Made these multiple prints, brilliant prints. But didn't really work because innerwear में fashion ज़्यादा functionality ही चाहिए. So I would do that differently. So basically, all the customer knowledge that I have now, if I had it then, phenomenal. I think that would much, much faster.
So what is one thing being a women entrepreneur no one told you about, but you learned during the course of time?
Yeah, honestly, not a woman entrepreneur, an entrepreneur only. Nobody tells you a lot of things. As I said, that compliances, the most basic part.
Hmm.
There's so many things that you learn along the way when you're doing something.
Hmm.
So your basic GST, professional tax, what could be the penalties, all of those things, nobody informs you. It's very boring stuff
Yeah.
that nobody talks to you about.
Yeah.
But those things actually, if you're selling something to Amazon.com in the US, what are the compliances that you need to do if you're doing an export? So all those things, and those things are usually your CA or CS will tell you, and you will just be dependent on that. As an entrepreneur, you need to understand that too, because those compliances are huge sometimes, and the cost that they carry is very heavy. So that's something that I think all entrepreneurs, it's very boring,
Hmm.
but that's something that we all need to study. For
And
our
we
particular,
all need to do it by ourselves at the beginning.
you need to understand it. You don't need to necessarily do it, but you
Hmm.
need to know, because unless you know, you will not know when that, penalty or when something hits you.
Right.
So we work with a lot of resellers, right?
Hmm.
And when these guys have just started selling online, these are experienced businessmen. And trust me, I sat them down and I told them कि आपका GST का input credit यहाँ पे जाता है. Those basic things also most entrepreneurs do not know. कि अगर आपने कर्नाटका में GST के लिए register किया है, then you will have to pay a professional tax. Things like that.
Yes.
Which we
Yes.
didn't know about.
Yes, absolutely. I learned it in like last few months that professional tax cut rahe hain mere invoices mein, and I wasn't aware like why is this
So
happening.
you
So I
have
reached out to my
understand all
CA.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And CAs will only tell you on a need to know basis.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's how it happened for
Yes.
me. And then I further, I sat with my husband because he's into business for a very long time, and then he told me, when you're doing it in Karnataka and all, they charge you
So that is what you
professional tax
again,
as
those
well.
things are things that you learn along the way.
Yeah, Yeah. So tell us, if somebody is interested, in going and pitching at Shark Tank, what are things that they need to take care before, they prepared for their pitch or while they're preparing for their pitch?
The Shark Tank, at the end of the day, they've done a great job.
Hmm.
They've made entrepreneurship the talk of living rooms, right? And we didn't
Absolutely.
they turned entrepreneurs into celebrities. That was not the case in India earlier. But at the end
Very
of the day,
rightly
it's a
put.
TV show, right? It's a reality show, and you have to tell a story. So when you're going to Shark Tank, you need to see that मेरे story में ऐसा क्या है जो एक और viewer को देख के interest आएगा. My story should be good. What is there in my story? That is the first thing you need to think about. हर किसी के business के पास, हर किसी के पास एक story होती है. हमें उसको सुनाना आना चाहिए. So then you need to think कि मेरी story क्या है.
और कितने ऑथेंटिकली आप सुना सकते हो शार्क
Correct.
टैंक पे?
Yes. मतलब
Because
आपको
I saw you one of very few founders, like literally very few, जिन्होंने इतनी transparently अपनी सारे flaws, अपने सारे losses बताया. And every time, they were questioning, you're like, no, अभी मैं और है बताती हूँ, तुमने और loss कहाँ किया? And I was like, wow, yeah, this lady, you're not only on top of your numbers, but you were so confident about your losses that there was no harm in making a loss. Because you took it so positively every time. I was highly impressed that every time you said that, you learned something out of it. You learned.
no, that's the truth. That's what actually happened, and that's what so basically you own it, right?
Yeah.
So whatever it is your story, you own it.
Hmm.
If you try to fudge it there, or you try to tell, so they're also very sharp people.
Yeah.
They run businesses. The people who run Shark, they're very smart, sharp people.
Yes.
So you go with a story when you're preparing for Shark Tank. First, think through what is my story that I want to, and how do I own my story.
Hmm.
You don't have to be ashamed of it. If you're ashamed of it, or if you're nervous about it, or if you try to fudge it, you try to present things that are not there, then you will get caught there.
Hmm.
So that's what you do in Shark Tank. Think through that, and of course, before you go there, be very, very sharp with them. Those guys are very sharp.
Yeah, they do their mathematics so well.
Yeah, so you need to know your numbers as well.
Yeah. So numbers, being authentic, anything else?
See, baki sab to, a lot of things, they will help you. Because when you're going for Shark Tank, then for 2-3 days, they actually help you practice your pitch.
Oh.
Because not everybody is camera friendly.
Right.
I have media experience. I used to work as a journalist, so I'm used to facing the camera, but not everybody is. And that moment, right, when you're entering the tank and that music plays and there is a peacock in the television, come stand next to the peacock. Your heart is like in your mouth. It is, and whatever happens there, whatever they say is going to be, there's no cuts. It's all live.
Okay.
There's no there are no retakes. Whatever's happening is there, and then they will edit it and show it. So when you're there, then you know that whatever's happening now is going to be on national television. And
So
there is no
actually the
control.
decisions are being made there.
Yes, it is all very authentic. It is all right there. It is all happening live. There's no retake. There's not a single cut. It's all in one go.
Wow.
So that entire conversation. So it is a thing where you're very nervous,
Hmm.
and it can make and you've heard stories, you've seen episodes
Right.
where sometimes they've gotten really rude.
Yeah.
Sometimes they said things and entrepreneurs have had a very bad time.
Right.
So all of that is also playing in your head. And you don't have control over how that conversation can go. One thing that you may say which may not go down well.
Yeah.
So all of those things are playing on your mind. When you're going, then you just need to, the moment you reach there, you really need to just calm yourself down and just go with the flow.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks for, sharing that knowledge, spending some good conversation time with us. And here we have Vani with us, with whom we spoke all about Shark Tank journey, her losses, her resilience, coming back, launching Teachika. And let me tell you, the product, their brand is amazing with some real funky colors and with lot of comfort, not only for teens, but also for the millennials today like us. So thank you very much, Vani, once again.
Thank you, Sneha. Lovely talking to you.
Same here.